Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. The Clean Cut Player. Look, and I've done something on this before, right? And, but I wanted to do another one on this, especially in light of just the recent hoo-ha over Russell Wilson. Now, I think part of the issue with Russell Wilson is, like, people try to look at his behavior and stuff, but if you really look at Russell Wilson, he just looked like a clean-cut, pretty boy, don't get in trouble type, don't smoke or drink type of dude. You know, he don't have that same look as, some of the quote-unquote street dude, man, right? And you know what? I'm going to tell y'all now. When you take, for the most part, I'm going to tell y'all what, for the most part, and I've said this publicly, for the most part, the men who get the most women are average looking, right? And be driving them crazy. They ain't like the thug or anything like that, but just like generically handsome guys, right? But you do got that subset of clean cut dudes who don't look like they smoke, drink, anything. They don't got tattoos. And, the first thing you might think about them is they lame. Let's be real. A lot of times when you look at these cats, you're looking at their outer appearance. I'm going to tell y'all now. Really, the most cold-blooded, womanizing, dog 'em out men look innocent on the surface. They some players. They pretty boys. Clean cut. All of that. Right? They might even be in certain fraternities. Right? So, seriously. And that's the biggest mistake people make. Because I've known some guys. I've known several. There was a crew of guys back in my past. Right? Crew of guys I ran with, right? And if you saw them, these were guys. A couple were biracial. One was like just a light-skinned, muscular dude, like no tattoos. These cats were attorneys, right? They were knocking them down like crazy. In fact, the thumbnail I use is from my book Sexual Chemistry, but that was just an actual picture taken of me back in 90. Let's think about 94. Now, if y'all look at it, right, I got the wife beat on and everything. I remember, look, just be on my look. People thought I was just like the most innocent dude. Like they wouldn't think I have any game or anything back then. But I was probably stroking that girl or something. Seriously, they probably thought it. I had such a baby face and stuff that, I used to have women tell me straight up. They were like, always keep some facial hair and never wear an earring. That's how much a baby face I had. So, you ain't look at me and think player, or macking or, just doing some crazy shit. Right? You didn't see me as that dude out there on the block or anything like that. Right? I'm telling you, a lot of dudes got to get out of going just on the surface of what somebody is, because those are the dudes, honestly, who really be doing some shit, that innocent looking dude. They the ones, the clean cut ones. In fact, if I go in a room, I look at some guys, that's one of the first things I look for. And I'll look at them and say, you probably get down like crazy. All right? Now, it's not always obvious. And then depending on what they're doing, they're going to be more discreet about their shit. They're going to be using, they're going to use condoms more. Because usually that type of cat is also doing some other stuff. Now, here's a way you can kind of understand that cat. The key to that cat, and I've known so many, it's crazy. But that gets a little bit more into my background for strategic reasons I don't talk about now. But I've known so many, it's crazy. The key to understanding that cat, though, right? Look it for one thing. It's a little cool. Look for any dude who might look like a clean-cut, innocent dude and look to see if he played ball or anything. any type of ball. Seriously, it seemed crazy to put it that way, but look for it, because there's no way anybody who plays sports, especially at an organized level, you gotta have some level of asshole in you, some level of aggressiveness. You can't be some nice guy and really play ball. I don't care like any of these pro athletes, college athletes, whatever. I don't care how many charity events you see them at, how friendly they are. They got that aggressive thing, and that aggressive thing translates to how they deal with women, right? And see, plus also too, they also make effective guys, because a lot of time, if they keep themselves in decent shape, plus the combination of a clean cut look, don't think they don't get play. We're gonna keep it 1,000. And usually when it's that type, I would call them the Russell Wilson type. Like, you know what? They're going to be the good citizen, go to church and all that, all that stuff. Please. They the cats in the church be knocking down like all the women in the choir. I've met plenty of them. That's it. Reason I don't talk much about that, because it's a class all in itself, and it's not something that somebody could just join. It's a class of pure genetics. It's a class of genetics, professional stuff. Seriously, if you get that upper tier dude, if he can have those combinations, he's going to do something. Because, like, even take the clean cut thing. Like, these dudes are in professional environments. You can't be going in some professional environment wearing, acting all crazy and stuff, you can't go in there acting like a Marshawn Lynch. And, I love a Marshawn Lynch. That's my favorite player. All right. But you can't go in there acting like him. You got to go in there looking like a Russell Wilson or something. Right. But understand, those guys at that level get down like crazy. They get down. And see, because a lot of times what happens is, and I talked about this for my $20 donators on my Patreon, right? A lot of time it's the perception. See, you gonna perceive that guy is being like, oh, he's lame, he ain't crazy or something. Especially some street dudes will look at him like that. But those type of guys, they just know how to keep their shit under control, undercover. Like, for example, take the example of Ghost on Power, right? Dude basically a pretty boy, but he a vicious pretty boy, right? And I know that's fiction, but that's actually fiction imitating art. I used to work in the criminal system. I think I've met or know of like several dudes just dealing with it who were running drug gangs. And quite frankly, they don't even look any different from Russell Westbrook or like that. Like the dudes who actually run like those criminal organizations, right? Not some street dude. I'm talking like the high level dudes. They look like church guys. And stuff, but they vicious as stuff. They'll order a murder or something or do something, right? And I actually learned that, just knowing the guys, talking with several women and everything, understand that, y'all. See, sometimes I'm gonna tell you what, with the game as it is, unless you in the bedroom, don't make any assumptions, right? Don't make any assumptions. And in fact, still, that's why I always say that, and that's one of the reasons I always say the Pookie and Ray Ray thing is overrated. Because I know how some of these clean-cut looking dudes be getting down. Shit, I used to be one of them. Trust me, if you see the women they getting, shoot, you be like, shit. Because when you talk about those high-octane women, shout out BGS, when you talking 92 and 100, yeah, the baller chicks, they'll mess with that rapper or something. But a lot of times those rappers, what they doing? They got money. And they, they got a certain facade. But when you talk about like those women who mess with those high-end businessmen, Wall Street traders, all of that, clean-cut dudes, please. shit, you can't mess with shit. You can't touch them. And see, just one of the issues is a lot of guys aren't there, so they looking from the outside, and they'll be like, "How he getting played? How he getting played?" And the women lined up for him, the badass women too, not just like, you know, the overweight baby mama and stuff with a bad disposition, but the fine ones. Seriously, it's something I've seen too much. Now, like I said, I don't talk about it as much because you can't really give game. The looks part, you can't give any game for somebody to get there. You can't. And it is a different level because you got some guys up on that level who maybe don't have that same clean cut look. And they doing their thing, but it's a different thing when a dude got that look. You know, that clean cut, pretty look. And then you know, got some money and then got some like thug underneath all of that. It's a very different thing. So just understand that game, man. Understand that game. Stop tripping over it. It is what it is. Like I said, the reason why I don't get into it too much because it's a rare area too. It's rare. It's rare. It's like, I don't even count it as something people, it's like one of those things you shouldn't worry about. It's just going to be some dudes who got it like that. It is what it is. They were genetically blessed and they just hitting on all cylinders, you know, and they going to just travel in a certain world. So you can't worry about it just because you don't understand it or see it. Focus on your own self. Focus on your game. All right. So anyway, right. That's it for now. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.